Well, here's how this ended up. It turned out pretty good. There's off and there's on. I got the relays ordered to change it around the way I want it, but it's working, but I don't like it. It's still going to be creating heat, a decent amount of heat on the bottom of this switch, because that's where the jumper wire comes off of this switch to go to that switch to run the AC clutch, which I've never seen that done before. I'd say it's one of those things that John Deere just bought them out and they hadn't had that changed yet. I mean, that's a big no-no with electrics. I mean, you're pulling that much amperage, you can't do it through a switch. You gotta do it through a relay, you know, or a solenoid if it's bad, too bad, you know. All right, I'll draw a little diagram here. There's the battery, and here's the blade fuse. And there might have been a relay between the battery and the blade fuse, but I can't remember. But this is what I remember how to look at the schematic. So there's low, medium, high. That's your fan switch in the cab. And then beside that fan switch, there's your AC. You're turning your clutch on and off. And then, of course, it's going to go through the pressure switches. I never draw that up. But then it goes out to the clutch. But the way they got, there's a ground to the battery. So the way they got this set up is it goes from the battery to your blade fuse, which I think it went through a relay and into the blade fuse, but maybe not. I can't remember. And then it goes to the fan motor and then to your AC clutch on and off, and then over to the clutch itself. So all that's riding, and it's a 24-volt system, and all that's going through a 15-amp fuse. And I'm not lying to you. It goes through a 15-amp fuse to run your fan in the cab and your AC clutch in a series circuit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a relay right there on the way to the clutch. I didn't have a 24-volt relay, so I couldn't hook it up that day. And the way that'll be is there's a little ground for the relay. And then your AC clutch on and off will turn into a control wire. But the actual work wire going to the clutch, I'll put through like a 10-amp blade fuse in a new slot and then pull from the battery and run it over to actually run the clutch, if you see what I mean. So I'm cutting out that heat from that circuit. But that's another day and another dime. Now I know this vid's chopped up and it's taken in about 3 days of chaos. But here is the actual coil I pulled out. You can see the top coil is, you see where it's rubbing through? It was rubbing through on the pulley itself and grounding out and screwing up my system. And the bottom is a good coil. So I ended up having to put the good coil in, but not after days of agony. 3 days of agony, actually. Chasing symptoms. All right, so our luck's continuing. My AC isn't fixed on Brutus. I think I found it out. It's actually the coil in the clutch. But it was, as it went out, it was making other things go out, and I was chasing symptoms instead of the problem. But I never had a coil really go out of one, so I didn't. Or if I did, I've slept since then. But nonetheless, misdiagnosed. So anyways, what that led to is I opened the side panel out there when the compressor stopped pumping. So check it out. Forget. Go to drive off. Turn around, hit a tree with the side panel. Bent the shit of it. So, let's see what we got here. We got 4-wheel tracks. In and out, both ways. So, had a track all the way out here. Of course, I bent the dadgum frickin' hinges and warped the guard all to Hades. It looked bad, but we actually got it fixed. Went back to cutting with no AC. Raji's guard comes off his fan, gets in his fan, so he takes the guard off. So I'm carrying it out. And the reason I'm carrying it out, because I'm on my way out to get Whitey because I blowed hydraulic hoses. Right there in the wrist, I got my hoses are too long. And we came up with an idea of putting a guard around it or whatever. He's just bull mess idea, didn't work. So now I'm gonna go change some hoses. Yeah, let's see if we can do something about it. Oh yeah. Right in the middle of the dadgum forest. Like a little forest creature. Oh, I'm so daggone aggravated with the daggone way things are going right now. Aggravated. Of course, they say right now is burnout season. It always is around here. End of August, early September. About the end of September, it starts changing. I'm gonna mate around that tree back there. Hell no. Oh. Leave room on this passenger side, I can get to my hose trimmer. This is gonna suck. I didn't cover none of this, but that guy there in that little car there in front of that tow truck just blasted Roger in the ass. So I stowed his co-pilot and we're headed to the mill. Junkyard said stuff come off the dash and everything else.
You'd have had a goddamn mountain.
Roger didn't know what hit him or what? Oh God, I ain't gonna hit him.
Crammed in the fucking eyes.
We'll have to get our opportunity to get out here.
Stevie just went by before that happened. Hell, it's moving good, and all of a sudden it comes, you know how it does come.